Hey everybody, it's Jason Creel and this is the Lawn Care Life. It's been exactly 2 months to the day, I believe, since I've put out the Bermuda sod plugs in my front yard. It's been a rough go, but we're starting to see some progress. Now, getting into fall, cooler weather, the progress is about to come to a screeching halt, I'm afraid. But I want to show you what the yard looks like after 2 months, talk to you about my plans for the yard as I move forward into next year, and mention a few other things that are going on. Let's check out the yard. So a quick recap for those of you new to the channel. We moved into this house about a year ago, and the yard was kind of a mess, and there was a lot of trees. You can see those pine trees over there beyond the playground and the birdhouse. That was what a lot of the property looked like. It was grown up like this. Now obviously the front yard here was not, but it was just full of weeds. And so yeah, last year I tried to renovate it and it was going well. I had a lot of Bermuda grass growing, but the yard still had lumps in it and things. I just wasn't gonna, be too happy with it. So we had a big machine come. If you can see that big pile of limbs, there's a huge pile of limbs back here on the back of the property. We had it cleared off with a track hoe, and so I've got a large area back there that we're going to be working on as well, and I've got some grass planted. But anyway, so we decided, looked into all these options: seeding, sodding, plugging, whatever, and it was just a lot of acreage, probably 3 acres of grass. And so to do seed with Bermuda grass, which is what I was going to go with, is it just had to get, in my opinion, a lesser quality Bermuda grass. So I decided to go to Sod Farm. They were able to cut the 419 Bermuda for me into plugs. They have a machine that does that, and I've got several truckloads full of sod plugs, and we threw them out. And now the problem was, and this is always a risk you take, I don't have proper irrigation. And when the time I threw out the sod plugs, we entered into a pretty serious drought that hopefully is just now coming to an end after 2 months. So for the first about 7 weeks, we had one rain that had any amount to it. We got a few sprinkles, but it was very, very hot and dry, and so watering it became a serious issue. So what happened was, after the first few weeks, I feel like the grass was just on life support. Not to mention that we had extremely hot fall, not only dry, but super hot. I think on October the 3rd, it was like 97 degrees, which is not normal even in Alabama. So anyway, just very hot and dry conditions. So did best we can with watering. But even with that, and like I said, you can see how the Bermuda has really filled in a lot. It's not as good. You can sit there in the top left, it's not as good there, but there's enough to work with. And over on the side behind that birdhouse, it's not as nice either, but that's hopefully gonna be where I'm gonna do my gardening stuff. When you get out here in the open space, when you look at the Bermuda and you see how it spreads, and it's very aggressive. Like I said, I put it out August the 9th, which was kind of late, and the hot weather helped a little bit, because Bermuda likes hot weather. It's just so dry. I think if I could have got it watered right off the bat, starting and not had it go through such a extreme survival period. Like I said, the first few weeks of this grass was rough. It was barely hanging on, and honestly it didn't all survive. But once it started growing, the hot weather then kind of helped it, and I was able to keep it watered a little bit better. So I think if I could have got it watered in really good, starting on August the 9th, right when I put it out, I could have almost had full coverage this year. But again, I knew when I started it was going to be a late start, and I was expecting it to be next year before it really filled in. So, but I'm again, how terrible it looked after 2 weeks, I'm pretty happy with how it is so far. Believe it or not, I've actually cut it a couple times, just mostly to say I did. So it's made a lot of progress. Of course there's bare spots, but just to be honest with you, I've got way more Bermuda grass right now than I did starting last year. So I feel very confident that next year this is gonna fill in no problem. Now, this had a lot of common Bermuda grass in it, and we scraped it with a skid steer and sprayed it twice with weed killer and stuff. And I still think I'm gonna end up with some common Bermuda mixed in with the hybrid Bermuda. So that's something I'll have to deal with, and you know, it won't be that bad, or I can try to kill off some of the common and get the hybrid to spread. So whatever, it's going to be a lot better. I think what I'm planning on doing now is entering fall and cooler temperatures. That this weekend supposed to get down in the 40s and supposed to have some rain coming up next week. I think I'm going to overseed the lawn with ryegrass. Now there's mixed opinions on that. It may not be ideal, and you may have, you know, for years to come be dealing with those ryegrass popping up, but I can get rid of that. I'm not worried about that. I just this yard gets really wet in the winter time, and with all these bare spots, I would like to have something to kind of make it look not like a mud hole until next year when the Bermuda can fill in all the way, and then after that I probably won't do a lot of overseeding, but I think I might do that this year. And then again next spring, what I would like to do is maybe in April is get a load of topsoil in here and just drag it with a something to kind of top dress it and really make it nice and smooth before the Bermuda takes over and kind of holds all the dirt in place, and try to make it as smooth as possible for those situations. The back is a lot worse than the front, but anyway, it's not bad. I just want to, you know, do the best I can before the Bermuda really fills in. All right, the other thing I did, if you've been following along, the other thing I did, I just started moving stuff around as we make changes. I had a little Japanese maple over here that had stuck over on the edge of the woods. It wasn't doing well, so I moved it. Gonna hopefully get my orchard going before too long with blueberry plants. I moved some fig trees around. This is my landscape project I did earlier in the year. Obviously it's grown up with weeds and I need some mulch bad, but I think it actually turned out pretty good. I moved some stuff around in here too, so you can see there's some lantana that's looking pretty sad at the moment because it got moved. The arborvitae's grown. I had tons of knockout roses around here. I left 4 of them and moved the rest of them. Got like a mimosa tree growing up in here. So anyway, I got to get in here and do some cleaning up on this project, but I like the way it turned out. I just need to clean it up, maybe put some landscape fabric down and then a fresh batch of mulch. I had 3 of these grassy plants. I had 4 actually. I moved 1 over there to the other side of the arborvitae, left 3. I moved one of those lower pedalums in the back, a little bit wider. I moved one of these yellow bushes. I think it's a sunshine ligustrum. That one's looking sad, but I moved it over here and just sort of evened it out. Got the lantana, and over here in this corner I had a hydrangea. I took those out and I put 3 encore azaleas over here. So I made some changes, got more lantana. I put a miniature butterfly bush here. So those are some late changes, and this Mexican petunia and another one of those grassy plants, and of course that lantana is just going everywhere, but all that stuff the lantana will die back in the fall. But anyway, you know, it looks pretty good, I think, with fresh mulch and everything. I like the layout. I'm not worried about the weeds. I'll take care of those later, or the cold weather will. But if I was just trying to get the design. I'm not a landscape designer, so sometimes when I do something, you know, it don't always turn out just the way I want it first, and I have to move some stuff around. So a few quick reminders on other things I've been mentioning on the channel lately. The GIE Expo is coming up. If you hadn't registered and you still want to go, you can use the link in the description, get half off. It's an affiliate link. They give me a commission if you use the link. But I'm going to be there doing a couple of things. I'm going to be speaking at the Jobber booth on Friday. I'm going to be giving away a spiker spreader on Friday, and on Thursday afternoon I'm gonna be out at the spiker booth doing racing on their spiker outdoor race course, and I think if you beat my time you win a prize. So I hope to see a lot of you at the GIE Expo. I also have a couple of coaching groups I'm looking to start up in November. So if you're starting in the lawn business, or you're wanting to get into the weed control side of the business, then there's going to be 2 coaching groups starting up for those. There's also a link for that in the description. Also, if you are interested in coming to my conference in January, it's January 23rd, 24th, the Lawn Care Life Conference presented by Jobber. I'm really excited about how that's shaping up. Got Alan Hain, the Lawn Care Nut, coming. Got Keith Kalfas, got Brian Shane from Top Notch Lawn Care. Got some great sponsors. We're giving away a X-Mark 30-inch X Series push mower, and so it's really shaping up to be a good event. Excited about it. It's a 2-day deal just north of Birmingham, Alabama. So there's a link for that in the description as well, if that's something you're interested in. Appreciate you watching the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Look forward to hearing from you in the comments. Talk to you later. Bye.